inspired by some of the amazing caches we've seen on pro geocaching, and I'm going to put out a buoy cache, or as the Americans say, a buoy cache. So what this is the actual cache. It's almost finished, but I'll just show you what we did to make this. What we have is a 5-inch plumbing drainage pipe, and on either end of this, it's 450 millimeters long. That's what it's cut to. On either end, one end is sealed with just a pipe end, and the other end is sealed with a screw cap. As you can see, the screw cap has an O-ring in it, so when you tighten that up, that provides a really good seal to keep the weather out, or in this case the water. One of the design aims of this project is to have this thing sitting in the water for months or even years in some secluded bay somewhere. I'm thinking of Botany Bay, and we'll look at that later. And this will sit there for a long time in the water, floating, sitting about that far out of the water. So the idea is to have it totally waterproof so that it will last for years. These screw top and the bottom are sealed with some blue plumber's glue, or what they call it officially, it's PVC pipe cement. That's the sort of thing, all the stuff you can buy down the hardware store anyway. Now, to make it float, we have to anchor this to the bottom of the bay. So there's going to be a big concrete block tied to a long rope at the bottom of the bay. And this thing's going to be floating and up and down in the water, so you have to secure it quite well to make sure that it doesn't float away. To do that, what we have here is a stainless steel screw clamp around the perimeter of the pipe, and then we have some stainless steel brackets here. Now, I just found these in the garage. They're part of an old bike rack. I've put these underneath the screw clamp and tightened it up, and you can see that's quite secure. Before I did that, there's a couple of screws I just pushed through the bracket. They don't actually go through the plastic here of the pipe. They're actually just sitting on the surface. But the idea is just to stop it from pulling through the clamp at the end. We have a chain attached to this in 2 spots, and to do that we have 2 cable ties on each side. So in all we've got 4 cable ties, and that then has the chain attached to it. The rope is going to be attached via these 2 carabiners, and they're going to be secured like that. They're just holding the cache in place. The rope's going to go through there. But the idea is that there's going to be quite a lot of rope onto this, so that when someone comes to find it, they come out in the boat, or they're going to have to swim a long way, and they can detach the whole cache, put it into the boat, do their thing and sign the log and whatever, and clip it back on and float it back there. Now, the issue is if you just left an empty pipe like that, that's just going to float horizontally on the surface. So you have to put some weight in the bottom just to make sure that it will float vertically and float to about that level. So to do that, we need to figure out how much weight we need. So I've got these bags of sand in a Ziploc bag, and we just put them into the pipe like that to start with, and that's quite heavy now. That's about 2.5 kilograms worth of sand. And let's go and have a look and see how this floats. I have a tank of water outside, so let's go and have a look. So we're here at the tank. I've got a tank of water right here. It is fresh water. This will be going into salt water, so the buoyancy probably isn't quite right, but I'll just show you how this thing floats. Anyway, so we're putting it in the water with the chain, and it floats about that level, which is probably okay. You don't actually want it to be underwater too much. So now that we know that it's about the right weight, we'll come back and take these blocks of sand out. What we did then is to get another piece of pipe of the same diameter, measure out 2.5 kilograms of quick-set cement or quick-set concrete, and seal the bottom of this with some sticky tape, and filled that whole thing with the quickset cement. Left it overnight, and here's one I prepared earlier. That then is the right diameter to go inside this. But I need to sand it down a little bit so it actually slides in pretty easily. The final inside container, what we took is a length of 4-inch pipe. Well, it's actually about 90 millimeters, about 4-inch pipe. Cut a length of 6-inch off that. Then we have the screw top, the bottom, and the actual cap. So these things will all then go together like that. So you push them all together, screw that on, and you have a nice little inside container. This is a really nice second line of defence. It will be quite waterproof. And the nice thing about this, you have a look at this, this actually fits perfectly inside there, like that. You can see that. And it actually, it's almost like it's made for it, and that will be totally waterproof. The other benefit of this is that once this is in, you'll have the concrete here, the space filler up to here, and the rest is filled with the actual cache container, and that will be totally watertight. Even if the water does get in there, it's still going to float, so it's not going to sink away. Now for the logbook, I found this polymer book, notepad. It's actually not made of paper. It's got these plastic pages, so even if it does get wet, it's not going to affect it too much. Now for the anchor, I found this old garden block in the backyard, and this weighs about 11-12 kilograms, about 20 odd pounds, and basically made of concrete. This, all I did is then drill a hole through the centre of it here. Found a bolt of the right length in the garage. That goes through the hole there, as you can see. Then I had this old pulley from a dinghy that I found in the garage again. And this then goes on to this this bolt like that. It's a heavy thing. And then you just simply put 2 locking nuts on this thing. So those things will hold the pulley on like that. And then it's just simply a matter of attaching a rope to the pulley. Okay, so let's have a look at the finished cache. We have the inside container, and this has all been, as you can see, it's all been glued up with PVC plumber's cement. So that should be quite watertight. What I've done also is put like a handle on it, because it is a bit difficult to get out of the other container. So I've put this little bit of rope on here as a handle. So inside we have our PVC notebook in a Ziploc bag, stash note, laminated. Actually, I don't think you need a stash note now. I couldn't find anything on the geocaching site anymore, but we put it in there anyway. That goes in there. We've got our 3 pens. We've got our normal biro, our clicker pen, and just a pencil, extender pencil. So that all screws up like that. And there's your inside cache container, which on its own is a lot better than many of the micros you see out there. Then we have a look at our other cache. This has now got the concrete block inside. It's also been filled up with Space Invader to about here, right at the bottom of this. So we can now put this whole inner container inside. That rope goes in there, and that just screws up like that. I have the 2 carabiners. These are attached via a bowline. If you don't know what a bowline is, go and ask a local Cub Scout or something like that. They'll know what a bowline is. But basically, it's a knot that when you've done it up, it just won't come undone. The rope will break before the knot will come undone. I've got the 2 carabiners. They're attached to the chain like that, as redundancy. And I've also put this little bit of flotation on there. This is basically a slice of pool noodle. And the idea of this is twofold. Number one, if someone does unclip the carabiners, it actually will float. And the other thing is it actually provides a little bit of shock absorption for the rope as it's pulling on the... It actually lifts the whole chain up when I tried it. And that's it. So let's see how it goes out in the bay. We'll go and take the boat out now. Well, here at the boat ramp, we're about to launch in. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning and about 6 degrees C, so about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's a bit chilly. And we have the cache in the boat here, ready to go out. And so we're about to throw that over the side. Where we're taking it, this is a place called Botany Bay out in Sydney. And we're going to find a secluded spot where not many people go, because we don't want anyone to hide the cache. So let's go. So here we are in the water, and it's a rough old day. It's probably blowing at about 20 knots, and it's very choppy, as you can see here. I've got the block here, and we're going to just lower it over carefully, just to make sure that it reaches the bottom. So here we go. And there's the bottom. So we've still got plenty of rope to cater for high tide and things like that. So let's put the cache in, make sure the lid is tight first, so that's nice and sealed. It's an official geocache, as you can see. Carabiners on, floats on. There we go. There we go, floating well. That will just gradually drift outside, drift out to the length of the rope and stay there. But as you can see, it's a really aggressive environment here. It's going to be submerged every couple of seconds in this sort of weather. So we'll come back in a few weeks or months and see how it's done. So what we're doing now is we've marked the coordinates, and we're averaging them sitting right over the top of the block on the sea floor. And if you can't find it out here, it's so obvious where the cache is that the coordinates don't need to be that accurate, but we're trying to do it as best we can. So